So we all know how to play disc golf, right? I assume you guys know all the rules and stuff, but do you really know all the rules? Today we're going to look at the top 5 PDGA rules that you didn't know of. By the way, if you guys want to look at the rules or follow along, I have a link in the description for the PDGA rules. It's just straight off their website. You guys will see in the description below. So going into this video, I looked at all the rules, and I knew 2 out of 5 of these rules that I found on the PDGA website. So we're going to start off with the 2 that I already know. So coming in at number 5 is the 2-meter rule. So basically if your disc is 2 meters above the ground, which is actually 6.4 feet, so if it's above 6.4 feet, then it's considered OB, and you take a penalty stroke. And normally they would just put like a marker right below the disc and you would throw from that. And you don't see people calling this a lot in leagues or anything, but in tournaments it's pretty common. And this is just something you might not know because you probably don't run into this unless you play in tournaments. Have you ever played with someone in a group who just takes way too much time when they throw? Well, you're in luck because there's a rule regarding excessive time, and this comes in at number 4. So the maximum amount of time someone's allowed to have while they're throwing is 30 seconds. So this is after they get to the tee and wait for all distractions to clear. So if there's like people talking in the background, then this doesn't count as part of their time. But if they're like lining up for a putt, but as soon as they get into position and it's quiet and they start lining up their putt and stuff like that, there's no visual distractions or anything like that, that's when the time starts. Now, I've never seen anyone call a time on someone. I mean, sometimes people joke about how long people take, but I've never seen anyone actually seriously give someone a stroke because they took too long. But I wouldn't be surprised if you see this in tournaments pretty often, especially if it's like a windy shot or something like that. Now we're getting into some uncharted territory. So at number 3 we have a rule about establishing position. Now that doesn't really sound like anything, but the part that I found that's really interesting is that letter D right here that says if the thrown disc breaks into pieces, the largest piece is deemed to be the thrown disc. And to me, I think that's pretty fair, you know, but it also could really suck. This has actually happened to me once before in a competition. It was winter. I had a Z Surge, and I don't remember if it was like really cold. It must have been like 20 degrees or something. I threw it on a hyzer sidearm, and I hit a tree, and I remember the piece just went like that. And I ended up taking the one on the right, which was in the woods, but towards the hole. And if I had to take the one on the left, if that was the larger piece, the left one went like all the way down a hill. So I would have been so out of luck if I had to take that one. Have you ever been in that situation where you're in some rough or something and there's just no way out? There's like no way out. So you just do the thing where you throw it to the side or tell them that you're going to put it out there and take a stroke. Now that's legal. Now something I didn't know you could do is you can do a whole rethrow. So this is at number 2, the optional relief and optional rethrow rule. So this rethrow thing, to me sounds like, hey, if you're way ahead, it's a short hole. Let's say there's a big ace pool. Let's say you parked it already. You could literally just go from the tee and go for ace runs until it's unsafe, you know, until like they could catch up to you or something like that. So like you could just ace run and take optional rethrows for a stroke. I think that's crazy. So yeah, that's something I didn't know. And finally, at number 1, this one, I didn't really know this was an actual rule. This is why it's number 1 for sure. I mean, it makes sense. The rule is a player who purposely damages any part of the course shall receive 2 penalty strokes without a warning. So I didn't know that. Like if someone breaks like a tree branch or something because it's in the fairway, or like, you know what I mean? Like if it's hanging over the tee pad and they just like snap it off, I wonder if that counts. That's what I'm thinking. Like, what if something's just right in the way? It's like some foliage or something and they like move it out of the way when they're not playing. You know what I mean? Like for other players. I don't know if that's considered purposely destroying the course or anything, but it also says they may be disqualified from the tournament, which makes sense. So like if they're like messing with a basket or something, yeah, I can see them getting kicked out of like a tournament or something. But I didn't know this was an actual rule. Like I thought people would just get really mad at this person, but they get 2 penalty strokes no matter what, apparently without a warning. Overall, there really isn't that many rules in disc golf. As you know, it's kind of like a simple game. I mean, there's small nuances here and there, but once you start playing with people who know how to play, it's like you pick it up really quickly. There's not really much to discuss about. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, and if you learned something, Make sure to comment down below what you learned or what you think about these rules that I just mentioned here. And don't forget to check out the rules in the description, especially if you're new and you don't know how to play. You should check out all these rules because there are some like specific things that I didn't mention, but you should probably know. And always don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.